Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Amazing Seller Podcast. This is episode number 697 and session number 219 of Ask Scott. This is where I answer your questions here on the podcast. And guess what? We're going to do it again here today. And I can't believe that I said episode 697 and session 219. It's crazy that we've been doing it that long, but we have. We're approaching 14 million downloads, which is exciting and crazy all at the same time. And I just want to take a minute to say thank you so much for tuning in and being listeners of this podcast and really voicing your feedback. And I definitely want feedback moving forward. What do you like? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? And yes, I want to know that. So if you guys can do that, just send an email to support@theamazingseller.com. If I can speak here, support@theamazingseller.com, and let me know. I would like to know. That will get sent over to our team. And then from there, we can see exactly what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of, and we can continue to make this show happen. Today, we are going to be answering a question from you, the listener, and actually a longtime listener. Really excited to dive into this one. This is one I have not really answered on an Ask Scott, I don't believe, in the past. And it is all about, should I join a mastermind? And to some of you, you guys might be saying, well, what the heck is a mastermind? Well, we'll talk all about that. But that's what we're going to be talking about here on today's episode. And if you want to ask your own question, then definitely head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do it there. You can let me know what your question is. And again, it does not have to be just about Amazon, or it doesn't have to be just about list building or building your brand. Just whatever is on your mind right now that you would be asking me at a coffee shop, well, let's get that question answered, okay? So definitely do that. You guys always hear me talk about like being at the coffee shop. I do treat these as though we are in a room together, hanging out and answering questions and just kind of just spitballing a little bit here. And that's what I want to do here again today. So before we do jump into that, I did want to give you guys a quick little reminder, depending on when you're listening to this, because this will be relevant if you're listening to it when it airs and even a week or two afterwards. But Brand Accelerator Live, you guys know we are hosting our very first live event, which is going to be awesome, is going to be epic, as I've been saying a lot lately. But there's also something that I want to make sure that you're aware of, is that if you have not grabbed your ticket yet, you're probably going to want to do that as soon as possible because, well, they are going and they're going fast, and you're able to secure a ticket for $200 off the regular price after, or once we get to July 20th. After July 20th, they will be $200 higher, and that will be as long as the tickets are still available. And then once they're all gone, well, then we'll have a wait list and all of that stuff. So if you have not grabbed your ticket yet and you want to attend Brand Accelerator Live, the first ever, and we're calling all of the attendees for this first one Ballers. Yeah, BALERS. I know it's not how it's really spelled, but it's cool. Ballers. You're a baller because you're going to be there, and you're original baller. So if you've not grabbed your ticket, do so if you want to attend. And it really does lend itself to what I'm going to talk about today about joining a mastermind. Really just being around those types of people. It's just exciting. You get even more excited about what you're working on. You get your questions answered. You get to rub elbows with other people that might be a little bit further along than you, might have connections, partnerships are formed. There's a ton of benefits of being there in a live room. So again, that's one of the reasons why you would want to attend Brand Accelerator Live, because we're taking the people that are interested in building a brand and accelerating their growth and getting them people all in one location so we can all hang out for a couple of days and start to really focus on building our businesses and accelerating them, not just how to find your next product. It's not really about that. It's about how to go out there and build your brand. So anyway, if you're interested, go grab a ticket, brandacceleratorlive.com, and do that before July 20th if you want to save $200. All right. Now, quick thoughts before we jump into the question, and that is third-party validation, testimonials. Well, what do I mean by that? And I'm going to share a story with you on how my son's kind of doing that right now, and I'll kind of give you an example on how this all plays together. All right. We've all seen it, right? We've all seen on the infomercials, we see testimonials, right? We see people that are not the product creator or not the ones that are endorsing it because they were paid. These are real people that have used the product and they're giving their testimonial. All right. We've seen it. You've seen it. I've seen it. You've watched infomercials and you're like, why do they keep doing it that way? Why? Because it works, right? There's all these different elements in a infomercial that work. And one of the main ones that I believe is a driver in conversions is testimonials. All right. So when you have a chance to get a testimonial, you need to get that. You need to then show it to people. Okay. And you can just put that up on your website, your blog. You can obviously reviews on Amazon, that's a third-party validation. But to me, I want more video. I want more written with a face. Those are the ones that to me are ones that we can use outside of just Amazon. All right. So let me just share a quick story with my son. So he's 21. He's going to college, going to be a physical education teacher, wants to also coach. He also is actively still playing, not in college, but he plays in a lot of organized ball here where there's some ex-D1 players and D2 players. And it's pretty aggressive. All right. And pretty good. He loves it. He enjoys it. He's also got a little coaching business on the side where he does client work. And he's niched it down even a little bit where he's helping a lot of kids with vertical jumping. He's got this Vertimax machine, which he bought off of Craigslist, which is like a $3,000 machine. And he bought it. He's renting out a storage facility and he basically trains out of that storage facility. And it's pretty awesome. Okay. But the cool thing about this is that as he's doing this, even on his Instagram stuff, he's getting people that are sending him feedback. They're saying, I've been following you and I've been doing what you're saying and it's working. Like I'm already touching rim and I couldn't even touch bottom of the rim before. And I'm doing that now. And I said to him, okay, here's what you got to do though. You got to reach back out to those people and you got to say, hey, thank you so much for sharing your feedback. Could you do me a quick favor? Can you shoot a quick video telling me exactly what you just wrote to me? And so he did that. And already he's gotten 3 people that have shot him videos that are endorsing him. Not him saying like, hey, you gotta go through my training because I'm the best. It's these people saying like, you got to go check out Scotty the trainer because I've been with him or I've been following his advice for the past 3 weeks and I've already increased 3 inches on my vertical jump. Like all of those things, right? So that right there, those are assets that he's building that's going to be able to be used now and way into the future. So again, I just wanted to share that with you because no matter if you're selling a physical product, a digital product, you're doing training, whatever you're doing, we all can be doing this. All right. We all can be collecting maybe a customer that's holding the product saying how much they've enjoyed it or how it's helped them or how it's made them happy. Or maybe like me, I recently used a bass fishing jig that one of our listeners had sent me and I used it and I caught a fish on the 5th cast. That right there is a testimonial that's like, hey, I just used, I forget the name of it, but whatever the jig name is, I just used it and it's awesome. I just cast it out 5 times and I caught this 4-pound largemouth bass. If you guys are even just thinking about giving a jig a try, you need to check these guys out. And that's it. That's my testimonial, right? And they can use that in their marketing. So again, you need to be thinking about third-party validation for your business. And I'm telling you right now, it will help moving forward. All right. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and dive into this week's question. I'm going to go ahead and play the question. And then from there, we're going to listen and then we're going to address it and we're going to answer it. And I'm going to give you my thoughts. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and rock and roll and get on out of here. All right. So what do you say? Let's do this.
Hey, Scott. Good to say hello to you. My name is Helene. I am a longtime listener, first time caller. And I've got a question about masterminds. You speak a lot about them. You even have your own, which is fantastic. But for those of us who are nowhere near the level to where we can join your mastermind, what do you recommend we do to go about finding these people so that we have a successful mastermind? I have tried this so many times in the past from the different conferences that I've attended. Everybody's hyped up afterwards. We're all ready to go. But then nobody really comes through, and I have not found real success in these. Very hard to keep the momentum and very hard to just have people contributing and wanting to continue. I've even gone so far as to try to join paid masterminds, which I found to be even more frustrating because here I give somebody my hard-earned money and get nothing out of it. So I know there's got to be a better way. So my question to you is, what are some resources we can use to find masterminds, as well as what are some of the characteristics that you think are absolutely vital that must be a part of a mastermind in order to have success for all of the members? I don't know if there's a particular type of structured approach or what needs to be done to help propel all of us forward. So thanks so much for that. I know they've helped you a lot, and I would love to be able to be a success story and tell people how great I've been able to do with these masterminds. Anyways, thanks again. See you in a future podcast. And then, you had asked on an earlier show if you have an accent. Well, to me, in my ears, most definitely you have an accent. But the good news is, somebody everywhere is going to always think that somebody else has an accent because we don't all sound the same. But I know you had said people always think it's New York. I don't hear New York at all. I hear straight Midwest. So you'll have to let me know if I'm right or wrong. Anyways, please enjoy. And as always, I got to go because it's time for me to take some action. Bye-bye.
Well, hey, Helene, thank you so much for the question. And I'm so glad that you pronounced your name because I'm not sure how I would have pronounced it if you hadn't done so. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for being a listener, a longtime listener. I really do appreciate it. And it's so funny that you started to mention that, I asked if I had an accent and I don't hear it. Obviously, when you have one, you generally probably don't hear it. But no, I'm originally from upstate New York. So some people think New York, they think that I'm going to have like this, New York City or even Long Island type accent. And I don't have that one, but I guess I do have one of some kind. I'm not quite sure, but okay. If you say so. But anyway, if you want to say like, well, you're from New York, so you're high energy. Yeah, I probably am a little bit high energy, but that's kind of probably where I get it from. I don't know where I get it from. My father's not like that. But anyway, let's answer your question that you're asking here about masterminds. All right. Now, for anyone that's listening, they're like, what is a mastermind? This is something that was created years ago. And I'm not sure who the original was. I could probably dig it up. And someone probably listening knows the answer to this, but it was where you took like more than one person and got them together to make decisions. So you're collectively taking the brain power amongst 3 people or 5 people or 10 people, and you're able to then come up with an answer or a solution or thoughts or feedback or anything like that. So that's kind of where it came from, right? It's like, how do we take all of these minds and make one mastermind, right? This powerful mind. That's really where it came from. All right. So if you think about that, you need to also think about, it's important that the minds that we're getting in the room all are, I don't want to say that they're similar, but they have the same vision in a sense of, or the same thing that they're into, right? You can have different masterminds for different things, right? If I'm into golfing and I want to have a golfing mastermind once a week to talk about strategy and how to have better techniques and all of this stuff, I wouldn't want to just randomly have someone that doesn't play golf come to this just because they're smart, right? That wouldn't make sense. So it's really, really important that you get the right people in the room, all right? Now, whenever I've attended one that I've belonged to, there's different reasons on why I want to be a part of a mastermind. Now, I've created free masterminds. Actually, I created a mastermind with Chris Schaefer in the very beginning, him, myself, and there was like 4 other people, and we were all getting started on Amazon together, right? So it was like, we were in a Facebook group and we were like, hey, do you guys all want to meet once a week? We'll hold each other accountable. We'll chat about what's working, what's not working, what we're doing, what you're doing, and all of that stuff. And it worked well. We probably did that for about, 7 or 8 months. And then it just kind of like you said, everyone kind of did their own thing. We weren't checking in as much, so we weren't being held accountable. And then I also started to get a little bit more serious about podcasting. And I'm like, you know what? I want a podcast. I want to start learning more about that. And I've already been in the internet marketing space and just the online space for a while. So I wanted to really get myself into more of that type of a group. not just focusing on how to go out there and create an Amazon business. It was more about how to go out there and just get more reach with the podcast, but then also how to take the things that I'm applying or that I'm learning in online, which I've learned over the years, and how to apply them to Amazon and that. So the focus kind of changed a little bit, and that's why it wasn't really something that I felt that I wanted to push on. But since then, I have joined paid masterminds, and I've got a network of people that I use as people that we can sound off of each other, like we can bounce ideas off of. Like for example, like now I'm really good friends with Mike Jackness and Steve Chu and Greg Mercer. So we don't have a formal mastermind, but if I have anything that I want to bounce ideas off of, I can certainly just make a phone call, or I can, get on a quick call with all of them if I wanted to. If I wanted to say, hey guys, can you jump on for like an hour? I got something I want to run by you. We could do that. So as you build out your network, you're going to also have these people in your life that you're going to be able to pull from. So to answer your question though, as far as like, how do you find that? How do you form that? I do find this. If you do a free one, it usually lasts for about 6 months. And then what happens is people just start to lose the accountability aspect of it. When you get a paid one, the difference there is that you tend to show up because you've paid for it. It's like anything. If you've bought an online course, sometimes, a lot of times, or an ebook or anything like that, you'll buy it, you'll go through it, you'll get excited about it for a week, and then all of a sudden you start to do less and less and less. Even though it's paid, you sometimes fall off. But depending on what you paid, a lot of times that will be something that will hold you accountable. Now, I've seen it actually firsthand that even if you pay a substantial amount, it doesn't mean that you're going to be forced to take action. Okay. It just, sometimes it's not necessarily what you need. So I think it's to each its own as far as what you need one of these groups for. If it's just accountability, then just have accountability check-in group. That's easy. But if you're looking for more, not just how do I go out there and make more money, that's like the wrong reason to really join a mastermind in a sense, in my opinion. But again, to each its own. I'm more about how to create a business that's sustainable and then also enjoy the process and enjoy doing it. Now, I've joined 2 in the past, 18 months and spent over $50,000. And one of them, I got value from both of them, but one of them I would say wasn't what I had hoped, but it was still valuable. Like I've got one connection that's probably worth $100,000 just because I have that connection now. If I want to reach out, get ideas, he's doing media buys for like major companies, and he's smart, and he would link me up to someone if I needed him. So that in your Rolodex is worth something in itself. But a lot of people that join masterminds don't realize that the connections are also worth that thing, right? Like we had someone come to our inner circle, which is what is kind of our mastermind, right? And Joe Valley, who's going to be speaking at Brand Accelerator Live, by the way, but he came there and he sat in on one of our meetings for about 2 hours going through what it takes to really build your business so you can exit the business for more, right? So if all I did was brought him into our inner circle and helped one of our inner circle members get more for their exit by, 1%, that is humongous. Even 0.5%, right? That would be worth their investment for joining, but then also the other stuff that comes along with it, the connections, the network, the pushing each other, the friendships, the potential partnerships, like all of that stuff, to me is worth joining, but it has to be, and this is the big one, it has to be the right group. And to be quite honest with you guys, this was my first round of ever doing my own, and I've learned a ton. I've learned so much. I probably should do an episode on what I've learned and what I'm going to do moving forward, because I'll be honest with you, as I was going through this, I wasn't sure that I was going to want to continue to do it. I just wasn't sure. I'm like, do I really want to do this? Is it the right people? How can I create a win-win for everyone? Because everyone wants to win. But if the mindset's not there, it's kind of hard for people to always think they're winning unless you know what It's hard. It's the winning mindset also is something that to me is so valuable, but that's for a whole nother conversation. But what I'm trying to say is you need to make sure it's the right people. Okay. And the right people, I don't mean just smart people. I mean people that are going to give you what you need to advance to where you want to go. And it's not always money. It's not always money. Everyone thinks that you join a mastermind group just for the money or to make make more money. It could be to make a bigger impact. Yes, the money is a gauge, but it's also about the impact maybe that your business is creating. We've got one girl in our group right now that I know is going to make a huge impact on her mission and on her cause. She is. I know it for a fact. Right. And so to be a part of that's humongous. I've got another guy that's in there that I know he has a huge opportunity in this market because it's massive and he's got all the data to back it. So, there's huge potential for a lot of people to make more money, but ultimately a lot of times it's just about getting in the right room or getting in the room with the right people to help you think differently, to get you to expand your thinking and to do what you're saying you're going to do. Accountability is huge. So there's not like a one size fits all. And what I've learned is that it 100% has to do with the people that are in the room. And then also what is the goal going into it? And for me personally, like even going forward with ours, there's going to be a different way that we are going to be presenting what you are going to get out of this. Because I don't want it to be like, oh, you join and all of a sudden you're going to, 10x your sales. That's not what it's about. Can that happen? Yes. But it's more about what's holding you back to where you want to go, and will this help you get there? And sometimes it's the right person to help you get there. And really, myself and my team, it might not even be us. It might be us connecting you with those people. So anyway, a little bit of a rant there, I guess, or a little bit of just my thoughts out loud. But what I want you to just take away from this, anyone, is if you're considering a mastermind, you can form your own. And sometimes that's the best way in the beginning is form your own. Handpick the people that you would like to meet on a regular basis. And I don't think that it has to be weekly. I think it could be bi-weekly. It could be monthly, whatever it is. But you need people that are going to commit to that mastermind. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in the right conference, you've got a really good chance of finding 3 to 5 people probably that would want to, after the conference, say, let's connect for the next 6 months and hold each other accountable. Right? And I'm going to self-promote myself right now because we are doing this at Brand Accelerator Live. And what I mean by that is we are getting the right people in the room that could do this. And we encourage this. We want you to be able to look to your left and look to your right and go, oh, these people get me. They get what I'm trying to do here. I'm not just sitting here saying I'm going to build an Amazon business. I'm building a business. I'm building a brand. That's what we're doing. And I want help doing that, not just the next hack for how to, manipulate the rank on Amazon. Like that's not what it's about. Now, are we going to help there at Brand Accelerator Live with people that are building the Amazon channel? Of course we are. Like that's part of it. That's part of our process, our strategy as well. Like why not? But we're building a brand and accelerating the brand. But the people that are in the room are also doing the same thing. So I would say make sure that you're going to the right events, the right conferences, the right meetups. And then from there, don't rush it. Get the right people. If you do, it's magical. I'm telling you right now, it is so, so magical. So hopefully this helped you. And after I just kind of went through all that, I'm not really quite sure if it did, but I hope it did. But those are my thoughts. And if we were having this conversation together at that coffee shop, that's exactly what I would have said right there. Because that's how we're doing it here. We're just free flying. All right. So if you guys have any additional questions on this or anything, go ahead and submit that over at theamazingseller.com/ask, and I'll do my best to answer on an upcoming Ask Scott session. The show notes to this episode can be found at theamazingseller.com/697. All the show notes and transcripts will be there. And also, one last little reminder is, brandacceleratorlive.com. Go grab your tickets if you haven't done so already. If you do so before July 20th, you will save an additional $200 off the regular admission price. And you'll be joining a ton of like-minded people ready to build and grow their brand. All right, guys, so that is it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you, I believe in you, and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode.